no, no, this this is not it. This I would not recommend to anyone who wants to watch another isekai generic anime. And what am I talking about exactly? Yeah, you see the picture, you see the screen. I'm talking about the second season of I've been killing stuff for 300 years and maxed out my level season two. Which again, this is a brand new anime series to come out of the spring 2025 season under Teddy Studios, which is a studio that I'm pretty sure no one's heard of because this is their first ever anime adaptation, believe it or not. And what's interesting is that the first season of Slime 300 did come out not too long ago. It came out back in, um, God, sorry, I'm going fucking ballistic right now because I'm so over the show and I just want to get it out of the way. But the first season came out back in the spring of 2021 by Revel Root Studios. And Revel Root Studios, they're pretty much infamous for giving us two of the worst Fooly Cooly spin offs that you could ever imagine. And at one point, because of how infamously bad these Fooly Cooly spin offs were, they essentially were dropped and no one really cared about them as a result. And Slime 300 is actually one of their last big works before they essentially were cut from the mainstream anime media as a result. And look, I've said it once, I'll say it again. The first season of I've been killing a slime for 300 years and maxing my levels, or I'm just going to nickname this Slime 300, I didn't give a shit about it. It was super boring, super derivative of every generic isekai anime that came out at the time. It was trying to be like comedic and humorous. Basically, it was trying to be like a watered down version of Bofuri in a way where in the case of Bofuri, yes, you had those like watered down moments, but it was at least enjoyable. There was at least funny comedic moments and characters that you really want to see succeed and power up and max out in this case. And again, I think everything at the world large of this show was really good, really interesting. But God, the Slime 300 anime is just super watered down from its counterpart, from trying to be like Bofuri in every way, shape, and form. That even to an extent, obviously this is involving slime. It's also, to no surprise, a huge downgrade of trying to be like the Tensei Shitro Slime anime that's super big, super popping off as of like with 3+ seasons under their belt, and I believe two spin-offs if I'm not mistaken. So with how unimpressed I was when this came out back in 2021, I went into the second season with honestly little to no expectations, and I'm gonna be brutally honest and just say that this is just a waste of my fucking time. And I'm just gonna be blunt and say that this is a waste of my time because essentially a lot of the problems of what made the first season unenjoyable sadly carries over into the second season. It's super boring. The animation is about subpar as best. The music, while the music does stand out in a way, there the the story, the themes, the progression of what goes on in this show is about as cut. It's about as paper thin, super cliche, and just a watered down version of what you would see from better, more superior slice of life animes out there. Because this show, rather than being like an isekai feel good show, it just feels like it's trying to be too hard to be like a slice of life anime, and it feels it all fronts so miserably. And again, I can shit more about why this show sucks, but I'm not gonna fucking dive further into this. This show was just a waste of my time. I gave it 7 episodes. I really try to give it an open mind and really try to maybe see if there's like a better second season to this show, but I just don't see it. I do not see it at all. I do not even understand how this show even became popular to begin with. This was just a huge waste of my time, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. Um, I think if you can already see with my disappointment and how much I'm frustrated with this show and how much I'm checked out with this show, I'm gonna definitely drop it because I cannot sit through 5 more episodes of this show being so boring, so freaking painful, and the fact that again, it this was at one point the top 5 spot of the spring 2025 season is pretty crazy. So yeah, Um, if I had to give it a score right now, I would give it like I honestly would give it like a fucking light to decent three, I guess. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm done. I don't want to talk about the show anymore. Would this be the worst anime of the year? Maybe, maybe it won't. But I'm just so over this show. This was a huge waste of time, and yeah, I just want to talk about it because I'm over this show. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one later.